Welcome back to Frontline News. I'm Michael Sharp. It's now time for Frontline Business. Over $1 billion in inflows to the government's coffers ahead of projection was recorded for the period April to November 2020. Data from the Ministry of Finance, Revenues and Grants recorded $339.8 billion, which was 0.3% above the budgeted $337.7 billion. The government's expenditure declined by nearly 1% for the period. The ministry says a total of $3.6 billion was shaved off spending, which amounted to $416.3 billion. Jamaica's coffee industry will be promoting increased consumption of local brew within the island by both residents and visitors this year. President of the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, JCEA, Norman Grant, says that the industry needs to increase consumption to help reduce a 750,000-pound glut created by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has severely restricted export of value-added products. Mr. Grant said the JCEA will be working with Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO, and the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA, during the period. He said the industry is convinced that there is room for improved coffee sales locally, considering that a recent study showed that Jamaicans only drink 0.25 kilograms of grounded coffee per person, compared with Costa Rica, which is at 5 kilograms, and Finland, which is at 12 kilograms. According to an industry body, British new car sales fell nearly 30% last year in their biggest annual drop since 1943, as lockdowns to curb the spread of the coronavirus hit the sector. Demand stood at 1.63 million cars in 2020, according to data from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. It was particularly hard hit by a 97% fall in April. The first full month of a national lockdown, dealerships in Britain gradually reopened in June. Showrooms in England were closed again during a second lockdown in November, but many were better prepared, with click and collect options allowing more purchases, but still leading to a 27% year-on-year slump. The performance leaves new car sales at their lowest levels since 1992 and suffering the biggest drop since 1943, when sales fell by more than 90%. In Wednesday's trading session, the JSE Combined Index advanced by 1,296 points to close at under 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 82 stocks, of which 31 advanced, 40 declined, and 11 traded firm. The Junior Market Index advanced by 6.21 points to close at under 2,000 units. Stocks advanced for 138 Student Living Jamaica, 1834 Investments, Access Financial Services, Blue Power Group and Cargo Handlers. Stocks declined for Barita Investments, Berger Paints Jamaica, Caribbean Cement, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, and Carreras. Trading firm were AMG Packaging and Paper, Derrimon Trading, Epley, Kingston Properties, and Knoxford Express Services. Derrimon Trading Company Limited was the volume leader with 2.6 million units, followed by QE Investments with 2.1 million units, and Trans Jamaican Highway Limited with 1.3 million units. And now, the foreign exchange. Brent oil prices rose Wednesday to the highest in 11 months after Saudi Arabia agreed to put bigger cuts in output than expected during a meeting with allied producers, while industry data showed U.S. crude stockpiles fell last week. Brent crude futures rose 32 cents to settle at $53.94 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose 13 cents to settle at $50.06 a barrel. And that's it for Frontline Business. I'm Michael Sharp, wishing you pleasant viewing.